Well, a very good day to you all. Thanks for joining us. This is the second round of Tune-Up. We had this idea at Baltimore Choral Arts because as we shift into a world where we're starting to think about in-person music making again, we came to the realization that many of us will have significant problems and obstacles coming back into in-person music making vocally. For this episode, we thought that we would focus on what might not be working for you right now. You're staring into your screens, you're submitting virtual choir submissions, and perhaps it hurts to sing. Perhaps you're not quite sure how to sing softly. You have a busy household with lots of people needing to work and go to school and share the internet, so you're trying to sort of take as little noise as possible in the house. There are many things that that can be going wrong for your voice right now, and I think one of the biggest things that might not be going well at the moment is simply breath control, how much breath to use when you're singing, especially singing into this screen. So I think we're going to do a couple of breath exercises. I'm certainly no vocal pedagogue, but I do know what has worked for me in the past, and I've had some really good teachers who have given little tidbits, and of course in episodes future we'll have someone, a guest, who will maybe bring a little more expertise into the vocal pedagogy realm of what we talk about. But here are some quick, really fun and quick exercises you can do with your breath that might help. Think about your personal trainer at your gym talking about isolating different muscle groups when you're doing a workout, and really sort of focusing on a specific group of muscles. Even though other muscle groups are working at the same time, you're really sort of focusing on one muscle to really tone it or them. And I think the same can be applied when you think about breathing, right? So I want you to think about, as we breathe deep and we breathe low, I want you to think about, number one, no high breathing. That's one element of isolation, is disabling something that might take some of the job away. So make sure that we're not going to breathe from here. Really think about low, low, low. Think about your obliques. In fact, you should put your hands on your hips to think about your obliques literally going out, and they should go out. This is an anatomically possible thing. And make sure that you're really thinking about putting the breath all the way down as low as you can get it, and then creating a healthy tension, sort of like you're grabbing water from the well. There's a deep reservoir, and you've got to sort of churn it up. I think maybe also a healthy thing to think about is a pneumatic device, and thinking about the pressure of your diaphragm. Some deep low breaths with your hands on your obliques here. Yeah. Another one. Now let's add a kinesthetic gesture that will sort of encourage us to really spin the breath. Okay, so we're gonna breathe deeply, and we're gonna do this with our hands. And when you let it out, do some whooshing. Good, another one. And out. Good, now some resistance. There are two types of ways that we're going to give our body some resistance in our breath. First of all is in the mouth with some consonants. Okay, so we're going to do this. Shh, shh, shh. Great. Make sure your hand is below your sternum so you can really feel that pneumatic pressure going upwards. Shh, shh, shh. Motorcycle. Zzz, zzz, zzz. I think another thing that might be giving everyone trouble right now is just being reminded of the space that's needed in the various resonators to make a rich, ringing, and resonant, vibrant tone. So, of course, we have the mouth, we have the larynx, we have the nasopharynx, which is sort of the mask when people talk about singing in the mask. And all of these things can be stretched and opened to a degree, and elongated certainly, and you can create with your muscles a sense of space, and it goes far beyond just lifting or raising the soft palate, right? So the first thing that we're going to do to achieve this is we're going to do the raisin face. Many of you know this already. So what we're going to do is we're going to scrunch our face up as much as we can. We're going to mimic that with our hands too. So we're going to make these really tight fists, and we're going to make it hurt. And then when I count to 3, we're all going to open our hands, take a big gasp of air in, have our eyes wide and our eyebrows lifted and take a big breath, and I think that will create some nice space in the mouth. Okay, so let's try it. Raisin face. Here we go. Ready to scrunch? Scratch. Scrunch it, scrunch it, scrunch it. Make it painful. Make your raisin face very wrinkly. Some of us more wrinkly than others. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yes, good. Another way to think about this is the horror film gasp. Right? All of a sudden, our mouth is very tall, very wide, and even in the back. Yes? Do it. Ready? Here we go. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. I want you to think not just about soft palate, but I want you to think about the back of your mouth and how much you can stretch back there. As I tell some of my choirs, think about an IMAX movie theater screen, right? It's not just this, but it's all around as well. And you can even trick your body into thinking that you're stretching your molars, your back teeth out this direction. Oh yeah, so take another very important piece of this space that we're trying to create is jaw. No tension, obviously. It's incredibly hard, for me at least, to not have jaw tension. So one of my voice teachers in England sort of likened this to being slack-jawed or sort of dumbstruck. And now we'll try and put all these things together. Think about, once again, isolation of muscle groups. Think about moving the back molars. Think about raising the soft palate, but creating an IMAX movie theater screen in the back of your mouth while having a completely relaxed jaw and a depressed tongue. And we're going to take a yawn. Good. So these are some quiet things that you can do to sort of keep your voice and your muscles going and your brain engaged with the act of music making with your voice. So let's just start with some sirening. We're going to take the NG of the word sing, S-I-N-G. We're going to take the NG and we're just going to siren around our range pretty freely, like this. Sing. Good. Another breathing thing that we could do, if you have a significant other or a child or a wall, you can press against that wall or that person or your dog or whatever. And what I want you to do is I want you to, first of all, put your right foot in front of your left or opposite, doesn't matter. Place your hands together or place your hands on the wall. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to push very slightly onto the object of your resistance. And let's see if we can connect that feeling with the feeling of controlling the breath from here. Okay, so take a big deep breath and out on a shh. Wow. Try it again. Big deep breath. And out. Good. Great. You can also just hum scales like this. Your turn. Let's go modal. Your turn. How about harmonic minor up? Your turn. You know, there's harmonic minor, melodic minor, natural minor. There are all kinds of modes. I don't particularly like modes a lot. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. Look them up and try and sing those scales like that, or hum those scales. Okay, if you have the house to yourself, maybe there are some slightly louder things that you could do as well. Let's do mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi. 3, and mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi. Up a half step. Mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi. Keep in mind all the warm-ups we did. Mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi. Nice resonant space. And mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi, oh, mi. Good. Now think about this nice pure fifth interval. We're going to sing Zia. Your turn. Zia. 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 Watch the E vowel. Zia. Excellent. Now let's work on some arpeggios. Ha, 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 ha. Your turn, 3, and ha, 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 ha. We're working on purity of intervals, so just make sure it's ha, 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 right? Let's try Z, E, E, A. Z, E, E, A.